When the whole body, mind, intellect, the personality acts in tune, in harmony, then there is silence. Why do we say that is called silence? Because any disturbance happens only when there is a disintegration in body, mind, intellect. At the moment, if you are sitting here, physically present, mentally fully engaged and absorbed, intellectually trying to understand, and the whole personality is here, is there a conflict in the mind? There may be a little conflict in the sense if you don't understand an idea where you try to understand. But there is no contrary thought, there is no contrary agitation. But sitting here, if suddenly you remember something which is going to happen or some memory which comes up, the mind gets disintegrated. So body is here, mind is somewhere else. That creates the division. Wherever there is a disintegration, there will be disturbance, there will be agitation. So first aspect of silence is that can I bring my entire body, mind, intellect in one place, where I am. Where a person works in harmony. So suppose my goal is that I want to serve the society. Now, service is my goal. Now whole body, mind, intellect is aligned to that purpose of service. If my goal is that I am a doctor and I must ensure that people, they have good health, they are free from sorrow and suffering, and with that I act with the purest of intentions, putting my best thoughts, physically I am acting. So if body, mind, intellect comes together, automatically there is an absorption, there is a peace. And that's why we say that a person who finds that peace or silence in work, only that person will find it in meditation. Otherwise, it is not possible to experience silence. Even if we drop everything, our mind will be more and more disturbed. So when Gurudev said that I rest in work, what did he mean? With a 16% heart in the last few years, he worked so hard, 18 hours to 20 hours a day, and no stress in the mind. Because when he is there in a place, he is there fully. There is no division. If he is talking to somebody, he will talk with complete attention and awareness. He is there for that person for those 2 minutes. There is no dissipation of the mind. Such a person conserves a lot of energy and achieves great success also. And hence we say that first aspect of silence is bring body, mind, intellect together. That is silence and move in harmony. Second aspect of silence is such a mind will experience peace. So a peaceful mind is a silent mind. Now when we say a peaceful mind, I again don't mean a thoughtless mind. Peaceful mind means a mind which is positive, which is engaged in doing its duty, which has no conflict. It has no guilt, it has no fear, it has no regret. It is able to do what it is doing without any conflict very smoothly. That peaceful mind is again silence. All these are given in our scriptures, the various definitions. Hence, a sant, who is a sant? One who has become shant is called as a sant. One whose mind has become so quiet. That quiet mind does not mean he doesn't do anything, sits quietly somewhere. People like Ramana Maharshi, so silent. But in their presence, how many people would get inspired? Doubts of many people would get cleared. So many people got inspired to do service. So they may not be speaking or they speak very less. But the mind has become so quiet that whether they are working or they are quiet, the mental peace always remains. There is no conflict. I should have done this, I should not have done this. The basic conflict in human mind is two aspects only. Not doing what one should be doing and doing what one should not be doing. That creates all conflict in the human mind. I am supposed to do exercise every day, but I don't do. Gone. Conflict in the mind. Even if I am, it's not something unethical, please. It is just a duty. I'm not even talking about ethical violation or hurting somebody. Even basic thing like an exercise I'm supposed to do. Or I have diabetes, I'm not supposed to eat sweets. I don't have, I'm just giving example. So if one has a diabetes and one is not supposed to eat sweet and then one starts, it's okay, wife is not there. But the intellect will keep it pulling me down. So a mind which is conflict free is a silent mind, not just a thoughtless mind. Third, controlled speech also is expression of silence. A person who cannot control the speech cannot attain silence. And a person who has silence will be able to control the speech. So if I avoid gossip, if I don't do tall talk, if I don't do backbiting, to that much extent I am practicing vak tapas. That much extent I am practicing vak maun. And think about it. The moment I start gossiping, what happens? There is a strange pleasure that we derive out of gossiping. Somebody's son ran away with somebody's daughter. Wow. How much of gossip that becomes. And then we derive a same sense of self-righteousness through it. We are better. We don't do all this. Look at this. So a certain pleasure one derives, and at a certain sensitivity when a seeker grows, then one knows that backbiting is not good. There are so many better things to occupy the mind with. Why gossip? Why do backbiting? Why do vain talking? That creates more disturbance in the mind. Because then one is scared, person who backbites is always insecure that somebody else is backbiting about me. If they look at two people talking and those two people are looking at this person finished, now this person will start thinking, wherever I am, something they are talking. So the mind gets disturbed. So a person who controls the speech is practicing silence. Fourth aspect, patience also is silence. I will elaborate this a little later. How patience is a very, very important aspect of silence. In simple way to understand, if I have to practice Maun even at the speech level, I need to have patience. Try doing Maun. On that day only, you will become very impatient. And you will feel that everybody is conspiring against you to break your Maun. And that day only urgently certain things you will want to tell your spouse, which till now you never wanted to talk only. But today only it will come. One must have patience. Okay, hold on. So patience also is silence. Moving on to subtler aspects. Contemplative thoughts. If I follow these above points, the mind will be so subtle, conserving so much of energy that the mind can start thinking about subtler aspects. One can do meditation, one can think about God, one can think about self, one can think about various aspects of spirituality, Vedanta, so many subtler aspects which we generally don't focus because the mind is extrovert. So, munehe bhavaha maunam, it is said. The contemplative nature is called maun. So, physically, when I become quiet, what do? Intellectually, I start contemplating on the self. So, I withdraw my attention from the external and learn to go within. That's why it is called as maunam. So, contemplative thoughts are also silence. Thoughts which take me away from the ego, they are silence. Thoughts of inspiration. When Gurudev got the thought in Uttarkashi when he was sitting on the banks of the Ganges and he saw Mother Ganga flowing, and the thought came to him that how the Mother Ganga flows from the Himalayas down to the plains and nurtures and nourishes so many millions of lives. Why can't this knowledge be taken to the people? And that inspiration that came to him was born out of a mind which was contemplative, mind which was free from egoistic thinking. So contemplative thoughts, selfless, inspiring thoughts, they form silence. Desirelessness is silence. We are moving in order from simpler to subtler. Because all disturbance in the mind, if we say a thought is a disturbance in the mind, thought comes because of what? Desire. The moment there is a desire, thought agitation starts. And when we get attached with those thoughts, then we forget the silence which is there. So a person who becomes desireless, to the extent I am desireless, to that extent automatically I become silent. I don't need to put separate effort for it. Because desire creates all the noise. That's why in that state of deep sleep, everybody is silent. Why? No desire. Body, mind, intellect are unmanifest. So desirelessness is silence. And finally, our nature as Atma, as awareness, is silence. So a person who experiences stillness and awareness, where the stillness is not mere absence of thought, but it is an experience of one's own self in its completeness, in its fullness, in the state of complete dissolution of the ego, what one experiences consciously, not what we see unconsciously or experience in deep sleep, but consciously, when I am aware of my own Purnata, then that is called as silence. So these are different aspects of silence. So now we have a more holistic understanding of the word silence. So it is not just absence of thought or absence of sound. So in short, what you saw about silence can be classified at two levels. Silence of the body, mind, intellect, which we must attain by effort, and the silence of the self, which is effortless. So when I put the effort to silence the body, mind and intellect, am I creating silence? Yes or no? No? I am creating silence. If I learn to bring my body, mind, intellect in one place and act, am I not creating silence? Yes or no? Who said that? I am not creating silence. What you said in the beginning was correct. We are not creating. The moment I put my effort to quieten the body, mind, intellect, I am eliminating noise. That's all. So that I experience silence which is already there. See, peace of mind, it cannot be created. It is already there. And peace of self also is there. That's my nature. Both are my nature. But the noise that is there all around is so much that we just don't experience either of them. Hence we say put efforts, make the mind quiet, and then you experience silence. That's a colloquial usage. But we should have the clarity that efforts are being put to remove the noise. All those factors which create the noise, we remove them. So disintegration creates noise, desires create noise, ego creates the noise. All that which creates the noise, that I need to remove. Impatience creates the noise. With my sadhana, what I am doing? The noise created by BMI, I am removing them. Automatically I experience peace at the level of BMI. And when I do deep meditation and transcend the ego, effortless peace, which is my nature, that I can experience. So, in today's session, we are going to speak about practicing silence. Hence, it is important to know silence at these two aspects. That the first aspect, silence can be practiced. To put efforts to quieten BMI, that silence can be practiced. But the second aspect, I cannot practice silence as my state. Can we practice waking state? Can we practice dream state? No, we can be in that state. In the same way, silence is my state. I can't practice silence as my true nature. But I can put efforts, and all those efforts which are to reduce the noise is what we are terming as practicing silence. As students of Vedanta, we must be very clear about this aspect, that entire effort And the very usage of practicing silence is to reduce the noise and to eliminate.